would like to believe so. When I was growing up, my parents and grandparents always had a beautiful little garden to love and care for. It would consist of a variety of vibrant flowers and beautiful plants, but that wasn't the best part. I'm going to tell you how gardening can bring more than just pretty flowers to your life. It can also bring you true happiness and peace. Ever since I can remember, I have always had an appreciation for flowers and plants. When I was younger, I remember my parents had a huge walk-through garden that my grandpa would love and care for. He always made sure that everything was growing nice and strong and would tend to them daily. The garden was completely filled with and surrounded by all types of plants and beautiful flowers and sometimes even butterflies. It had a stone path that started from one end to another and was like a small maze, or at least it felt like that because I was so small at the time. I found it fascinating how all the plants would grow and change over time with love and care. I think plants and flowers are a good sight to see and a good smell to smell. Wouldn't you agree? Well, that's not the only benefit I found by always having a garden around. I have learned many different things about gardening. One thing is their life and beauty. I have learned that not only do they need sun and water to grow, but they need your love and care. If you take the time to love and nurture them, they bloom into more beautiful things than you can expect. They even can give off bigger and more delicious fruit. I remember not too long ago, I grew a squash that was as big as my forearm. It weighed about 6 pounds and it was about 16 inches long. I also learned that the time I invested into those plants, the more beneficial they became and the bigger they grew. I was fascinated by the way they started out as tiny little seeds and would grow into more beautiful things. Some of them even trees. It was my love, attention, and nurturing that made this outcome, and it was extremely rewarding. Having a garden has brought me peace, understanding, growth, and appreciation. Not only with them, but with myself too. Watching them transform due to my actions made me realize that the same thing applies in life. It was going to take my actions to change my life in a better and more prospering way. I was learning and growing in my garden. Gardening has not only lifted my spirits when I'm down, it has taught me to be more patient and that things take time to grow. But it has also taught me one really important thing, and that is to never give up. At one point in my life, I was feeling down. I started to care less, and as time went by, I started to water less and less. Before you knew it, my garden was nothing but death and decay. They became nothing because of me. I had acknowledged the neglect and took action to start a new garden. Once I started to see new growth, it made me feel happy again. Little by little, the negative thoughts started to reduce, and I started to develop more peaceful and positive thoughts. Gardening became a therapy to me. It connects us with nature, and we become one with the world. And I believe this can help us overcome any bad feelings you may have. It can be peaceful, satisfying, and even rewarding, especially when you're harvesting delicious fruits and vegetables. Gardening helped me realize that I couldn't give up, not only in my garden, but most of all, I couldn't give up on myself. I had to keep going in life no matter what, and once I had stopped loving myself and watering myself with the things that made me happy, my growth stopped too. Having a garden around to love and care reminds me every day to never give up because we need to keep going in order to keep growing.